It's Friday afternoon. It's 12:24. So as promised, I'm not doing this live. I've decided to do this on Zoom and YouTube, so I can post it on YouTube. I'll be posting it on Facebook and Agents Gather later on. So this is how to be iconic in real estate investing. So a lot of people ask, how do you get people to come to you? Instead of you always having to go find deals or having to find lenders, find investors, find partners, find sellers, find buyers, and all that, how to get people to come to you. So you want to become iconic, and I define that by being someone who is an influencer, somebody who is, providing information, education, and some degree of fellowship and relationship building. So you want to be, somebody who's always looking to reach out to others, help people get started in the business. I mean, even if you haven't completed your and closed your first deal, you can still do this. It doesn't matter if you've done zero, you've done your first deal, your fifth deal, your hundredth deal, your thousandth deal. You can be iconic. And so what you want to do is you really want to look at the different things you need. You need processes and systems. You need to know the difference between front office and back office. Front office is you. It's your profile. It's your Facebook, your Instagram. It's your Bigger Pockets. It's your Agents Gather account. That's where you are becoming the public face of yourself and your entity. Your business. You want to be able to have groups, blogs. You want to post stuff. You want to be able to learn hashtags, basically build your business up, also dominate your geographic area. If you're working in Indianapolis, you're flipping houses there, you're buying rental properties there, you want to become the guru, the expert on Indianapolis real estate market. If you're looking to do rental, you want to cover everything. If you're doing flips, also cover what the rental market is like, because people are going to be buying those houses possibly to rent. So you always want to think ahead what the end use buyer is going to be doing. That is how you also become iconic. You gotta understand that market. So with your front office, you have all your social media accounts, you have your website, you're attending conferences, events, whether they're virtual or live, you're doing meetups, you're organizing meetups, you start getting to the point where you're organizing your own events and conferences, even small, you get 10 people, 20 people, the next time it's 50, then it's 100, and then you got 500, and you guys have a grand ballroom at like the, you know, Scottsdale Princess Fairmont, which I went to pit bowl at in 2019, or you could be at the Gaylord in Aurora, Colorado. The Gaylord Hotel is huge, man. It's got indoor water park and all that shit. So you want to be iconic with how you develop your front, be front facing. Your personality. You want to have a YouTube channel. You want to have Facebook. You want to have Agents Gather. You want to be on Bigger Pockets. You want to be on Insta, all that stuff. You don't use TikTok. I see all kinds of people using TikTok. Believe me, I'm not trying to get political, but TikTok is pretty dangerous, and I believe so. Don't use TikTok. It's gonna be, I don't know. It's just really, I think, in my personal opinion, it's dangerous, and I don't think people should use it for business, especially. I don't think kids should be able to use it. So you get into your front office situation. That's how you present yourself. Your back office is where you have your CRM. You have all the systems and processes. You have your databases of lenders. You have your databases of Fed funds and hedge funds and family offices, lenders. You have your software, your Excel spreadsheets, your analyzer software. You have all of your different contracts for your different asset classes organized. So if you're going to wholesale, you want to have the wholesale contract, the A to B, the B2C contract. You want to have all that organized in one document folder. If you're going to flip, you want things. If you're going to do, when you do rehabs, you're going to want 4 or 5 different, spreadsheets. That way, if you got something that's like a light rehab, you can use one form over another one that's more extensive. If you're going to be doing like, hey, you're going to go have to do some structural things like that. You also want to be flexible, and you want to look at, hey, you want income and cash flow. You want to build assets. You want to build wealth. Well, you can start that by, if you're doing flips, you also need to look at rental properties, but you also need to like be flexible and not get tied into what I call a captive guru situation or a captive seminar or promotion company, because all the seminar promoters, things like that, you don't want to be captive to one strategy, one acquisition strategy, one funding strategy, because that's not going to work. So you have an opportunity to do something else where you're going to make some good money, and it's going to build some, it's going to be an asset, it's going to put income and cash flow. Eventually it's going to provide some stability towards building multi-generational wealth for you and your family. You want to be flexible. you want to be able to move into that and be able to take down that asset and acquire it, or flip it, whatever. So you want to be able to be flexible. The other thing you guys need to be is to understand that you want to be you want to be somebody that if you're going to wholesale the right way. Use earnest money deposit funding and lending, which is pretty prevalent now. We offer it through our group. Once you're an associate, if you join our associate group, but you want to be able to know how to use that EMD to help you close deals, especially if you don't have your own money at first. You can still close wholesale deals, and if you use like Privy and some other lead generation softwares, you want to use AI and technology as much as you can. You want to become and I'm nowhere close. I'm probably 10% of the way that where I want to be in that. I'm getting better. I'm spending a lot more time on Chat GPT, and I'm studying prompts and things like that, because you want to get better. You also want to start using AI and technology to build to do lead generation. And if you use it the right way, you don't even have to do skip tracing. You can get on and off market properties. Like if you use Privy and you're in the residential space, you can do comps, you can do rental, all that stuff, rental data on and off market, make offers. Literally, it's a great program. There's not too many out there for a commercial, PropWire, PropStream, stuff like that. But you can, if you're a wholesaler, you can go out there and, why go take someone's head off? You want to be, my magic number is somewhere between 55 and 60%. If you're gonna wholesale, you should be somewhere around 55 to 60% of ARV to a flipper or somebody. So you leave some meat on the bone. You can still make really good money, because if you use Privy and some of these other tools, you might find a property at 35% of ARV, 30%, 40%. You're still making good money at 50% or 55% or 60. If you're going to stretch it that far, you're leaving some meat on the bone. You're also making lenders happy, and that's incredible. So in your overall picture, guys, you also want to have your relationships ahead of time. You want to already know lenders. You want to talk to lenders. You want to network with them. You want to do the same thing with just about everybody you're going to work with. You want a team. Who's on your team? Your lenders, your appraisers, all those kind of people. You want all of them on your team, and you want to go into a situation once you find a property, you've already got the lender. You know what they're requiring. Structure your offer so that the seller likes it and the lender likes it. That's going to bring synergy. That's going to help you get the deal approved by the seller's going to agree. They're not going to feel taken advantage of. They're going to agree on a good deal. You're going to be able to get it through underwriting at a lender. You're going to get that approved. You're going to be able to have proof of funds, real proof of funds, not this fake stuff that you guys, people ask all the time. Hey, I'm not going to get into that. People have heard that. So you want to be able to have your proof of funds. You're able to go and execute that contract and that close and get everything set up through the title company, the appraisal, all that stuff. So have your relationships with lenders ahead of time. That way you can close quick. Learn rehab, learn construction, learn scope of work, how to prepare scope of work and draws and documents, so you can present that to your lenders. Use companycam.com, and you can use just the free version, and you can do a lot of images and a lot of accountability between you and the lender for your draws getting work done, and a lot of accountability for your contractors with you to get their draws and their payment. That's a good system to use. That helps become iconic. Like I said, having those relationships with the lenders, having relationships with contractors, that's what helps you be iconic. Do quality work. Goals. Look at what's being done in that neighborhood. Go just a little bit above it. Don't go a whole lot, so you lose money. Go a lot. You can do a lot of stuff. Go to Home Depot and Lowe's. Go look at all the go look at the latest in cabinets and appliances, and when you start looking at the level that you're looking at that you're comfortable with, have some packages already figured out. Develop relationships with the appliance guy, the flooring people, the paint department, the managers of those, so that way you can get good deals. And sometimes when they have to dispose of stuff, they have a process in the back through receiving where they send stuff back, RCV and some other things, return to vendors, RTV, return to vendor. But sometimes you'll get some stuff that's still really good quality. If it's going to be like, you can still get some good stuff. Maybe the box is open or something like that. There's nothing wrong with it. You might get it 30% off, 50% off, 70% off, things like that. So always develop relationships there. Open, another LLC that's just a project management company. That's going to help you a lot because you can pay yourself as a project manager. Then you get your accounts at Home Depot and Lowe's. That's how you become iconic because now you can get 60 days, same as cash for a lot of your, 0% until you have to pay it. If you pay it 60 days, it's usually like a really good deal for you. And you also get like fuel rewards at Home Depot. I had fuel rewards when I had my construction company. One time I paid 12 cents for a full tank of gas. That's a pretty good deal when you have 18 gallons and it's going to be like right now, that'd be like almost 75 bucks. So you're talking about 12 cents. That's a good deal. That's awesome. That's how much materials, if you're going to be buying a lot of materials, have those relationships with the contractors, know what you can do. Always get permits. Unless you absolutely don't need, if you're just doing painting, things like that, okay, you're not going to need one, but always get a permit. And don't get a homeowner's permit unless it's just you doing some minor work that requires a permit. There's things you can do, but you always want to be permitted. You don't want that to come back at you at the close or years later or whatever. Always make sure everything is permitted that has to be permitted. That's how you become iconic. Don't cut corners. Look at the finishes when you're into like a Class C neighborhood or something like that. It's gonna be different than if you're going into like Aspen or somewhere where you've got to do, everything's expensive, or Beverly Hills, or Park Avenue, or Mar-a-Lago. I think it's just a resort, but Palm Beach, Palm Springs, all that stuff. If you're going to be going to those kind of areas, Greenwich and all that, and you want to be, obviously you got to do some high-end stuff, but you can get by in Class C and Class B. There's other things you can do also to be iconic is how do you always want to have a performing asset. If something's not performing, you want to figure out, can you make it performing? Can you make a C class building into a B, make it performing? Can you upgrade that flip a little bit more, make it, a little bit more so it performs quicker? If you're going to rent it out, if you're going to flip it, make more profit. That's how you become iconic. You always are flexible, and you're always looking to turn a non-performing asset into a performing asset. And then you want to have all your systems down. You want to have a good banking system. You want to use the LLCs. Don't let people say you don't need an LLC to start. You need an LLC. I prefer Wyoming. South Dakota's good. Alaska's good. You can, there's things you can do. So to protect yourself. Obviously, right now, you also do want to check fincen.gov, fincen.gov, so you can get the latest on some of the stuff you have to do reporting now for the business. It's like business transparency, or it's something that the Treasury Department's doing. So if you do have an LLC for anything, even outside of real estate, you want to check that website out and see what you got to do to comply, because there's some pretty hefty. I think they even have some jail time for people who are egregious and things like that. But you guys want to have LLCs to protect yourself. There's a thing called COPE, and everybody hears about being anonymous and having privacy and tax benefits. COPE is a huge thing. Wyoming has the best COPE. In fact, they pretty much wrote the COPE. COPE is Charging Order Protection Entity. So when you go to, you get sued civilly, the judge is going to issue a charging order, which is going to basically is what gets you garnished or gets you, takes your money from the accounts, whatever. So this is a protection entity. So if you have a charging order protection entity, you are pretty much safe. They can't do anything to you at that point, which is good. If you have hopefully it's an accident and you're not out there committing fraud or something like that. There are accidents. There are things that, during COVID you could get away with a lot of stuff, like not paying your investors on time, as long as you tell them, hey, something's going on. I can't pay this month, can pay next month, things like that. They can still sue you over, but you guys want to have LLCs. You want to protect yourself. I have 45 of them. That's a lot. I have one in South Dakota, one in Alaska, 3 in Colorado, 40 in Wyoming. So, and it's all spiderweb together, 3 holding companies. One complete does everything. It's all like non-real estate. 2 have the real estate stuff. And I have a lot of them on their shelf. So they're just sitting there waiting to be used. I'm going to have to do some things with this new law to which won't be hard because they're pretty much dormant. They don't have bank. They have I have ITNs and federal tax ID numbers and all that for them, but I don't have bank accounts. So basically, except for a couple, the main ones. But you guys want to look at that option, get LLCs, protect yourself. Guys, being iconic is, like I said, it's being prepared, it's being flexible. This flip isn't going to work now. You got to turn it into rental property. Use that in your exit strategy. Have a second exit strategy. Have a contingency. That's how you become iconic. Tell your lenders, hey, if this, I'm going to flip this, but this is also the rental data for this, so I can actually still meet the terms of the note. things like that. You always want to have lenders on your side. Make friends with lenders, join, start talking private money. Don't use hard money terms anymore because hard money's gone away. It's all private money, guys. That's how it's changing. You're not If you're against it, you're not going to change their minds. It's pretty much a done deal. You guys, like I said, you want to get your social, you want to have your Facebook, your agents gather, your bigger pockets, your Insta, and your LinkedIn, and you're going to want to kind of network all those together like a spider web. A lot of resources. You want to get follow links, you want to get backlinks, guys. You want everything so people are coming to you when they go on and they say, "I'm looking for a house in Indianapolis." You come up before Realtor.com and Zillow.com, and you are in that first two or three, on Google, and people are gonna come to you. You want people coming to you. That's how you're iconic. You want to have a good presentation. You want to have a YouTube. You want to do Facebook Lives, guys. How many people don't do video? Just come out, just every week, come out on Facebook and live, and do something on YouTube, or all that stuff, and present yourself. Let people hear you talk. Let see people, what your emotions are, things like that, and how you respond to things, and always keep your promises. It's not we don't live in a world anymore where a handshake is your bond, but you still want to have that kind of handshake is your bond kind of thing, even though you need everything in writing, guys. Things get screwed. I saw one pretty well known lead generator this morning was talking about getting cut out of a deal where she was supposed to make 20,000. So we see that all the time, guys. I see that every day, and reach out to me, guys. I got a lot more stuff to offer you. We do have open about 25 slots in our associate program. Those will be $1,500, $1,500 on January 1st. So you can still get in right now for $399. We did open those 25 slots. So, and you can bring a spouse and a business partner. That's why we have 101. About 25 people are spouses and business partners that they work for. So we have those 25 spots to make 101. In January, we're going to be, we're obviously launching the 101 group. We're also going to be, we're going to be expanding associate, but it's going to be $1,500, guys. It's too valuable. People are doing deals every day, guys. I hear about them after they're done. They're like, hey, we got a deal done. We got, one of our associates has that program, 50 rental properties, and they actually pay you. They're trying to give you $250,000 to $500,000 in holding capital, which is huge. You got your income, cash flow, and all that stuff. You're getting your, you can dispose of it. It's a phenomenal deal. We've got a lender, life changing. They've got 200 something products, loan lending partners. They got HELOCs. They got stuff for VA. They got conventional. They got VA. They got FHA. They got a lot of stuff conventionally. They have a lot of resources. We've got multiple resources. We have EMD and gap funding. If you're looking to deploy capital and you want to lend out $10,000 once per week for 52 weeks at 10%, and you just add that principal, and that interest. So now you get your 10,000, then the 1,000. The next month, you do that 5 weeks, then you got 15,000 for the next week, 22,500. Think about that fifth cycle. You do that for 2 or 3 years, and you watch that money just compound and multiply. That builds up your reserves, and that builds up, you go to a lender and they look at that and go, hey, a couple $100,000 in reserves. You don't have to use that to get OPM. You can use, you don't have to use the money, but you can use the account that's there, sitting there for contingency. You can pay yourself draws from it, things like that. So it's a good system. If you're looking for EMD and gap to help you close deals, we got both of those. You do have to be an associate, guys, to do that. It's exclusive to associate. Everything we do is associate to associate. People reach out to me every day. I have a deal I need help with. I'm sorry, becoming our associate program. Dude, I work for you guys hard every day. I connect you guys, all that stuff, but you have to be an associate. That's how that's how you become iconic. You work with a group of 100 something people. I feel I'm iconic because I put this huge group together, and all of this just kind of naturally, organically came together. So it's a huge, I give everybody credit in my group. I don't take any of the credit. These people are incredible. We have human resources, digital resources. They're doing deals every day with each other. They're doing deals outside the deal. They're taking that expertise and the Zoom, everything we're talking about, Zooms and all that, they're taking it out to do deals. And that's what we want. So that's how you be iconic. So if you want to be iconic, guys, reach out to me, Nate Marshall, Private Money Authority, the Wolf of Private Money. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me everywhere. Guys, reach out to me and I will help you be iconic. Thank you.